Samsung have officially unleashed their Galaxy A lineup into the market. We have the Galaxy A25, A15, A05, and A05s. Hopefully, in the upcoming year, we should see the A35 and the A55 coming up as well. But in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy A25 5G, as I've been using this device for a couple of days now, and I'm here to share my experience with you guys. So if you're out on the market and you're considering purchasing this device, then here's what to expect. The device comes in two storage variants, 256GB coupled with 8GB of RAM, which is going for $250. And then we have the 6GB of RAM coupled with 128GB of internal storage, which will be going for $224. Could be more, could be less, depending on who you're purchasing it from. And honestly, the price difference is just $25. So I would really suggest that you get the one with the bigger storage variant. This device comes with a 5G chipset, which is the Exynos 1280 chipset. Unfortunately, in our side of the world, we don't have 5G yet. But then this future-proofs you in case 5G ever comes to Ghana. And also, not forgetting, this is arguably one of the most affordable 5G devices you could get right now. When it comes to the build and design, the Galaxy A25 5G doesn't look so different from the Galaxy A24, except for the fact that the color options are quite different now. The triple rear camera setup on here looks the same as what we had on the Galaxy A24, accompanied with a flash. However, the frame has a slight design change, and that is a rump which houses the power button, which doubles as a fingerprint scanner, and the volume rocker button as well. Apart from that, the other elements are in their same positions. There's a USB Type-C 2.0 charging port, a headphone jack, which means there's a support for wired headphones, speakers, and two microphones. One major difference here is the Galaxy A25 5G comes with support for hybrid SIM slots, which basically means that you either choose between dual SIMs or one SIM card and a micro SD card. The choice is yours. Honestly, I haven't really had a bad experience with the build, especially holding the device in my palm. I really wish I could use this the entire time without having to slap a case on it, but I need to protect it. Either way, it feels very great in the palm and doesn't hurt so much. Even though it comes with a boxy design, the edges don't feel so sharp. Of course, it's an all plastic build, so you need to expect that. With an 84.2% screen to body ratio, the Galaxy A25 5G has much more thinner bezels as compared to the Galaxy A24 4G. The resolution of the display is 1080 by 2340 pixels. With a Super AMOLED display on the device, you can't go wrong with consuming content on here. It does feel great and amazing. Although I find myself streaming content at max 1080p, it still is a good thing to have here. The display is sharp, crisp, and much more detailed when it comes to consuming content. With 1000 nits of peak brightness, there is a caveat though. Display kind of washes it out a little bit if the brightness is peaked at 1000 nits. Now this is in the case of sacrificing brightness for display quality. And I think this is something you could overlook, because pretty sure you're not going to stay outdoors in the bright sunlight condition for a long period of time. Comparing it to its predecessor, which is the Galaxy A24, the Samsung Galaxy A25 5G comes with 120Hz refresh rate. Now this kind of has a toll on battery life, but not so significant. Samsung does a good job implementing displays, and this wasn't left out. Not forgetting, it comes with an Infinity U display, which houses the 13 megapixel selfie camera on this device. We'll get more into that when we head to the camera section of the review. With the Exynos 1280 chipset, performance on here has been nothing but battery smooth. Now I know, we do have our concerns when it comes to Exynos, but comparing it to the G99 processor from MediaTek on the Galaxy A24, this performs slightly better. I've been playing heavy game titles like Call of Duty Mobile on here, and I've noticed little to no lag. If you care about the graphic settings of this device whilst gaming with Call of Duty Mobile, this is how it looks like. Now I must add, gaming for longer periods of time, you would end up realizing that the device feels a bit warm to the touch actually. But it's actually nothing slapping a case on it won't fix. Either way, I won't really advise you to game extremely longer periods of time on this device, even though it has the capacity for it. The storage and RAM variant I have here is 128GB coupled with 6GB of RAM. Again, as stated earlier, you could go as high as 8GB of RAM coupled with 256GB if you're somebody who cares more about storage. When it comes to the operating system, we have One UI 6.0 based on Android 14. And in a few months' time, we should expect an update to One UI 6.1. Samsung has always promised to have 3 years of software updates on this device and an additional year of security updates for the device. So you're rest assured that you could use this device for a longer period of time. One amazing aspect of the Galaxy A25 5G is the batteries on here. 5,000 mAh battery capacity, which holds up pretty well, especially when you need it. Now, what I mean by that is you could use the device up once in a day if you're somebody who is not much of a heavy user like I am, and it could take you through the entire day without having to worry about it. It has support for 25 watts fast charging, which basically means that you could get your devices used from 0 to 100% in an hour and 25 minutes. The cameras on this device are triple sensors at the rear side, which houses a 50 megapixel main camera sensor, which is a wide lens, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. Here is how the images from the cameras of the Samsung Galaxy A25 5G look like. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Personally, I think they are okay for the price point and for the category it finds itself in. Where I do notice a significant change is when you're taking portrait shots on this device. It could be improved, maybe through a software update, because when you're taking pictures, you do realize that it struggles a lot with edge detection if you're not in well-lit environment. And even sometimes in well-lit environment, you could actually see there is a bit of a struggle with edge detection, and I'm hoping they could fix that through a software update. I shot some videos with this as well, and here's the output. So this is 4K footage from the Galaxy A25 5G. The footage coming out of this is in 30 frames per second. Let me know how it looks like in the comment section below. This is the footage without ultra steady mode turned on. This is 1080p 30 fps footage from the Galaxy A25 5G. Now the reason why it's in 1080p is you can't actually have steady mode in 4K. So this is how it looks like if you are using steady mode with the Galaxy A25 5G. Overall, I can say the Samsung Galaxy A25 5G is an amazing device. I mean, it has its caveats and downsides. If you're comparing this to the Galaxy A24, it sure is a worthy upgrade. I mean, 120Hz refresh rate, 5G, much improved chipset which is slightly optimized as compared to the MediaTek processor, and again, some quite decent cameras on here for $224 or $250 if you want a much higher storage variant. And DELPPY, share your thoughts with me in the comment section, and as always, we go talk more, Charlie.